Hey guys, so I decided to dedicate a whole video to the frequently asked questions that get sent to me about my ayahuasca video. Now I'm more than happy to answer your guys' question, but it's getting to that point now I'm just getting the same questions over and over again. So I thought it'd be a lot more effective if I just made a video about it, so then next time I get the same question I can just refer them to this. So yeah, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so first question. Because I have depression, does that mean that all my ceremonies are going to be hellish experiences? Okay. Now, before I answer this question, I feel the need to tell you that ayahuasca will give you what you need, okay? So there is no definite answer to this. So it really depends on you. I personally had a very hellish experience on my first ceremony, but then had the polar opposite bliss and peace on my second ceremony. This is because ayahuasca gave me what I needed. You might need a beating, or you might need a hug. Will I be able to handle ayahuasca if I have high anxiety? Okay, the thing, like with depression and anxiety, ayahuasca has been proven over and over again that it is one of, if not the most effective treatment for depression and anxiety. So if you do have one or both of these illnesses, then ayahuasca would be perfect. But if you do have anxiety, you're probably going to get the highest levels of anxiety that you've ever had in your life leading up to ayahuasca, because you're going to be so nervous and the anticipation is just going to kill you. But afterwards, it's going to do wonders, most likely. Is ayahuasca a quick fix? No, ayahuasca is not a quick fix because it requires a lot of work. If you go into it thinking of it as a magic pill that's going to fix all your problems, then it's not going to do much. Because the thing about ayahuasca, most of the work, actually, you know what? The ayahuasca ceremony actually begins when you go home and you start integrating all your lessons. So you really have to work hard. Because if you just go back to your old environment, to your old friends, to your old habits, then you're going to go back to your old self. So that's the thing. Ayahuasca is just going to give you a higher perspective on life, and it's going to give you deep insights on what you need to do. But it's up to you if you actually do them or not. How do you feel after taking ayahuasca now that some time has passed? I feel great, to be honest. I'm still integrating from what I've learned from my last ayahuasca ceremony. There definitely has been ups and downs. That's life, right? And I have gone to some stages actually. Some of my old habits have been popping up, but I have been able to overcome them by looking at it objectively, because ayahuasca has taught me to have a higher awareness of things. Because the biggest lesson what I learned from ayahuasca is just be the change you want to see in the world. And sometimes I forget that, but I have to remind myself. So this whole year, I've just been focusing on becoming the best version of myself. And that has been working great. I've been attracting all these great things because I've been working on my inner world. Okay, will ayahuasca interfere with my belief systems? Depends what belief systems you have, to be honest. If you have very dogmatic religious belief systems, then yes, it most likely will. If you don't believe anything outside of this physical reality, then yes, it will interfere with your belief systems. Okay? For me personally, it more reinforced my belief systems. So the thing is with this life after death, I've always dug the idea of reincarnation. And the more life experiences I've had, and the more books that I've read, the more I notice this cyclic nature of the universe. You know, life just goes round in circles. There was a stage in my life where I didn't believe life after death. I thought, like, when we're dead, we're dead. But even if you go, even on a scientific level, it's impossible. I mean, listen to what Einstein said. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be transferred or transformed. So by that definition alone, we can't die. Yeah, our physical bodies might rot underground, but our consciousness has to go somewhere. It has to. And when I did ayahuasca, I definitely experienced that. You know, the oneness of the universe, and I saw the cyclic nature. So if you do, like I said, it depends on what you believe in. If you believe that we go nowhere after this life, then it probably will interfere with that belief system. I was talking with a friend of mine. He was like, he's all 100% science, believe in God, this, that. Then he did an ayahuasca ceremony. He's like, it just completely blew his mind and made him question his beliefs. So, yeah, I feel really lost and don't know what to do. I've tried everything from doctors to psychiatrists to priests, and nothing has worked. Would you recommend doing ayahuasca? Okay, I've got this quite a lot. Not so much with the priests, but a few. Now, the reason why Western medicine fails on mental illness is because it focuses on masking the symptoms instead of looking at the root cause of the problem. Ayahuasca is great because it goes to the core of the problem, right? That's why it works. That's why people are going to Peru. That's why people are waking up to these plant medicines. So whether or not I recommend you doing ayahuasca or not, I can't say. I have to know you. And the most important thing is that you have to listen to your body. Not your mind, your body. Especially your gut. Now, if I had listened to my head and not my gut, I wouldn't have gone. So ayahuasca is one of those things that you just have to feel a calling, right? You just got to feel like, yeah, is this going to actually help you? And if you feel that it's right, then do it. Just, it's as simple as that. So who shouldn't drink ayahuasca? Yeah, there are a few people who shouldn't, and there have been cases where it just didn't end up well. So there are people who have heart problems. There are people who have psychosis, such as schizophrenia, and people who are on antidepressants. Now, especially the antidepressants, mixing antidepressants and ayahuasca has actually been fatal in some cases. So yeah, don't mix those two substances. It does not go well. If you are on antidepressants, then don't quote me on this, but I think it's at least a month you have to get off them before you drink ayahuasca. Just enough so it gets out of your system. Do you lose touch with reality after drinking ayahuasca? Alright, first you gotta ask, what's reality anyway? I'm not gonna get into that. But okay, if you are referring to this physical third dimensional reality, no, it doesn't make you lose touch with reality. Jesus, that is one of the biggest myths ever. And it's ironic because the people who are worried about ayahuasca making you lose touch with reality, or any psychedelic for that matter, they're usually the people who are the most unconscious, who kind of get up, do the same routine, go to a job that they don't like, go home and do this over and over again, because that's what they got told. So they're kind of like walking zombies, just going through life, you know. Ayahuasca for me, and for many people who tell you the same thing, it if anything, it grounds you to reality. It makes you more aware. It opens your eyes. It makes you more appreciative to be alive. That's all I have to say about that. What retreat did you go to and would you recommend it? Okay, this is actually one of the most asked questions, and I put it in the description of my ayahuasca video. Obviously no one checked it, but that's fine, I forgive you guys. I went to Kapitari, and yes, I 100% highly recommend it. I would definitely go again myself. The shaman, Don Lucho, is just a master at what he does. What sets him apart from a lot of the shamans is that, see, most shamans would go through an apprenticeship, right? And they would get mentored by another shaman. And that's great and all, but Don Lucho, he's had 40 plus years of experience, and he's learned everything he knows directly from the ayahuasca plant itself, or herself. So he's very intuitive and incredibly just intelligent, and has such great wisdom to him, and he's very genuine. And all the money that gets put into Kapitari, yeah, he gives it to the community, rebuilding the rainforest, and just things like that. He's just an incredible shaman. His family is so humble and welcoming. You just feel right at home, and the food's great too, and it's actually affordable too. So yeah. Okay, how much money did you take for Peru? Okay, so the tickets vary. I paid about $1,000 Australian from Chile to Peru. The retreat cost $650 US. And apart from that, how much money did I take? About 2 weeks in Peru, including Machu Picchu, food, accommodation, about $1,500, something like that. Not including flights and the retreat. Yeah. Do you have to go to Peru to drink ayahuasca? You don't have to go to Peru to drink ayahuasca, but if you do have the money, then obviously going to the birthplace of ayahuasca is going to be the most ideal and authentic place to drink ayahuasca, right? That being said, it's the shaman that you choose which is more important, because there are a lot of dodgy shamans in Peru, right? So yeah, it's a shaman that you choose. If you don't have the money, then scout around. There are ayahuasca ceremonies everywhere in the world. I mean, it's illegal in most parts of the world, so if that doesn't bother you, then go for it. You just have to know the right people. Do I need a shaman? Can I brew it myself? Oof. Okay. I personally would never ever drink ayahuasca on my own without a guide. There have been people who do it, and they've had great experiences, but I don't know, so ayahuasca is something that you just really don't want to fuck with, because you're susceptible to both worlds, and the shaman is what keeps everything together. He's what guides you through this journey. So yeah, you can brew it yourself. Listen, it's your life, you can do whatever you want. I would recommend against it personally, but it's up to you. Does ayahuasca fix all your problems? No, of course it doesn't. It makes you aware of your problems, what you have to do to fix them, pretty much. But you have to do all the legwork. That's it. Is ayahuasca more effective as a healing medicine than other psychedelics such as mushrooms and LSD? Alright. Everyone has their own unique molecule that works for them. In other words, one medicine might work for one person and not work for another. Mushrooms could be that psychedelic that could do wonders for you, and ayahuasca might not do anything for you. So yeah, it's one of those things that you just got to follow your gut and or experiment. for example, like LSD for me personally wasn't very, like, it was cool. I had a fun time, but it wasn't, I didn't have a profound experience. I didn't get a lot of healing from it. Mushrooms, to me, it's definitely on another level to LSD in terms of healing. Personally, alright, don't get butthurt, because I've heard a lot of people that have had the most healing from LSD, the most profound experiences. I'm just talking from my experiences. A lot of people get very defensive. I actually remember going on Reddit, and there's like this whole thread of people complaining like, oh, everyone puts ayahuasca on this pedestal, blah blah blah. It might not even be ayahuasca itself. It might just be the whole setting, this whole shamanic ritual. Who knows? Because I'm sure if you took mushrooms with a shaman, that's going to be quite a bit of a different experience than just taking mushrooms with your friends. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, everyone has their own medicine for them. So these are just the main questions that I get asked all the time. So if you guys have any other questions, just comment below. And if I do get enough questions, I might even do a part 2 of this Q&A. So yeah, I hope I answered some of your guys' questions that you've had. And I hope that you got some value out of this video. That's it, guys. Please share and subscribe.